Hello again, guys. Mr. Corn for Driver Ed. Okay. Our next chapter is chapter 11. Okay, and it's called Sharing the Road with Other Users. We share the road with all kinds of users: bicyclists, pedestrians, animals, other motor vehicles, various types of motor vehicles, semis, motorcycles, etc. So you're sharing the road constantly with others. Okay. One of the best ways to make yourself visible to other drivers is keeping your headlights on. Like I've said before, in Canada, they are required to have their headlights on 24/7. In the United States, we don't require it that way. Usually it's on rain, snow, fog, dawn or dusk, or nighttime, obviously. It used to be an old rule: if you turn your wipers on, your lights should be on. It's kind of a good rule, but again, dawn or dusk, you should have them on, as well as fog and things like that. So, and generally in fog, we don't have our wipers on unless it's really dense. So just kind of keep an eye on the conditions. If you feel like your headlights should be on, turn them on. Okay, they're not going to hurt anybody else. I've had students a lot of times on the road test, they get nervous and they tell me, Mr. Corn, what if it rains? What do I do? And you put your headlights on. Obviously, you put your windshield wipers on. You better know where those things are for your road test. If you don't, you got a problem. So whatever car you're taking the road test on, make sure you know where those things are. I've had students lately that have told me, Mr. Corn, I'm leaving my headlights on when I start my road test. That way, if it starts raining or snowing or something that needs me to turn my lights on, I don't have to worry about it. They're on already. Okay? Again, on a road test, you're stressed, you're nervous. It's easy to forget something like that, but it could easily fail you on the road test. If you take your whole road test in a rainstorm without turning your wipers on or your headlights on, possibly going to fail your road test. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. One of the things we do is we communicate with other drivers. We communicate by waving them through an intersection, saying hi, saying thank you and stuff for letting you in, all kinds of different ways. The only reason you shouldn't communicate with other drivers is to express your frustration. If you're ticked off at another driver, that's life. Okay, somebody's going to cut you off at some point. Somebody's going to make you mad on the road at some point. I guarantee it. Okay, trying to keep those emotions in check, really important. Okay, or else we end up in a road rage situation. People get ugly, it gets nasty, and bad things can happen. So keep your emotions in check. Somebody ticks you off on the road, somebody cuts you off, somebody makes you mad, they pull in front of you. It's life. Okay, just kind of deal with it as you go along. Okay. One of the definitions that comes into play in driver ed a lot is a closing probability. Closing probability is a chance another vehicle is in the same space as you, or another vehicle is getting closer to you as they move along their projected path and you along yours. Okay? Just understand it's closing probability. Things are closing together. Two cars are coming together at some point, hopefully not in a crash. Hopefully one of you is observant of the other and slows down and kind of lets the other person in. Okay? A vehicle ahead of you, how can it increase your risk? Maybe it stops fast, maybe it swerves into your lane. Okay, somebody coming towards you can swerve into your lane. Remember, there is no magic bar in the middle of your road. Okay, if somebody crosses that yellow line, there's not a wall that's going to come up and take them out. No, they're going to come in your lane. Okay, whether it's because they're distracted, because they're on their cell phone, because they're drunk, whatever reason, they're coming in your lane. You got to do something about it. You got to try to find that escape path, front and one side, get off the road, get out of the way. If they're all the way over in your lane, maybe you want to go the other way. I don't know. Okay, you're making those decisions. They're split-second decisions, and they sometimes are life and death decisions. So, that's the seriousness of what you're doing with your 3,000-pound car every day. Okay. One of the following is not a vision error. Okay, remember, vision error would be like not checking your mirrors, not looking in your blind areas over your shoulder, maybe dialing your cell phone, looking down at your phone instead of looking out the window. Okay, those are all errors you could make that would increase your risk tremendously. A way not to increase your risk is using that visual lead. Look down the road. Make sure you're aware of all the vision, all the things around you. Okay, that is a way not to increase risk. Okay. If a vehicle has, or a person has poor spatial judgments, maybe a driver near you has poor spatial judgments, how would you know that their spatial judgment is poor? Probably because they're tailgating somebody, maybe you, maybe somebody else, okay? They're driving too close. They're getting too close to a bicyclist on the side of the road. They're just not paying attention to those things that you have to pay attention to, okay? If you're noticing the people in front of you are like having a lively conversation or they're very animated or something like that, they could have a lot of different problems. They could drive too fast, they could turn too wide, they could suddenly stop. Maybe they're talking about where they're going and it's the house up here, stop, and they slam on their brakes in front of you. All those things can cause a problem for you as a driver, okay? When you communicate with other drivers, we think of that as exchanging information. It's not communicating, it's not one way. You got to communicate with other drivers. You got to make sure they're making eye contact to you. When you're at a four-way stop and they wave you through, you're making eye contact and you go through. Okay? It's just kind of one of the key things to dealing with. So it's exchanging information with one another. Okay? Never use it to express your frustration. Okay? We're not flipping people off and things like that as we're driving. Oh, excuse me again. I still haven't gotten that second cup of coffee. So, okay? You're driving along a two-lane road and you encounter a fire truck. If you have a fire truck, emergency truck, and we spoke about this in class the other day too, you want to pull as far off to the road and stop the car. Okay? You don't have to turn the car off. Just stop it for a second until that person passes. Police car, fire truck, anything. Students have asked me for a long time about blue lights, which are the volunteer firemen. I always tell them you are not legally obligated to pull over for them, but I would pull over for them. I always tell students they may be going to your house, maybe going to a friend's house, and those seconds can be life or death in an emergency situation. Okay? When we're thinking about pedestrians, lots of different types of pedestrians out there, and I hate to call, I've had students get mad at me about this question before. Okay? When you're looking at four different groups of people, you might have an elderly person with a walker or a cane, like myself. I walk with a cane because I have a disability. I'm not real old yet, but I'm old enough. A child with a bike, an adult with headphones on. They take different levels of time. Okay, a kid with a bike can move across a street or crosswalk pretty quick. Adult, normal walking with headphones in, unless they're incredibly distracted, probably just going to go right across the road, nice and easy. But that elderly person, especially with a walker or cane, might take a little more time. So you just want to be aware of them. Okay, you can't run over pedestrians. It is illegal. Okay, my students ask me, aren't they worth points? No, they're not worth points. That's a joke. Okay, we do not run over pedestrians. It's a bad idea. All right, nobody wants to go to jail for vehicular homicide. Okay, 10 to 20 years in prison really stinks. Which of the following conditions likely cause a bicyclist to make an unexpected maneuver? One of the big things is a storm grate. Okay, motorcyclists can have the same problem. They got narrow tires on a motorcycle. They hit a storm grate on the side of the road.
Mrs. Lathan, please call 6101. Mrs. Lathan.
Okay, they have a storm grate on the side of the road. It can catch their tire. I'm sorry about the interruption there. So just be aware of that. That could cause them to swerve or get in your path of travel. Okay. Animals are dangerous on the side of the road or near the road. Dogs, cats, wild animals, because we don't know what they're going to do. They're erratic. They're unpredictable. We just have no idea what they're going to do. Is it going to, deer standing on the side of the road eating grass? Is it going to run in front of you or not? Okay, we don't know. It might run into the woods when it sees your car. It might run right in front of you. Okay, we don't know. One of the things to be aware of, if you're on a curve or you're on the top, going up a hill or something like that, don't pass another car because you can't see what's on the other side. If you go to pass a car going up a hill and you get over to the other side and there's a car coming, you had no idea it was there. Okay, so just don't do that. And one of the things they ask a lot of times on a lot of quizzes and a lot of tests, and I don't really like this question, should you tailgate another vehicle in order to pass them, get so close that you're tailgating them to pass them? Not a good idea. Okay, don't tailgate anybody for any reason. You want to give yourself 10, 20 feet. Okay, just give yourself that room. Okay? Avoid driving next to large trucks because the air currents, they can pass off, the dirt, the dust, all those types of things. And large trucks have blind areas. If you're on the expressway and you're passing a large truck, get around the truck. Okay? Don't just hang there in the truck's blind spot. Okay? As a driver, you have a responsibility to pedestrians. Obviously, we talked about don't hit them. Okay? It is a legal responsibility as well as a moral responsibility. Okay? If you're out driving a car and hitting pedestrians, you should be off the road. Okay? It's that simple. It's not a game. Driving is not a game. It is a serious thing. You can kill people with that vehicle. Okay? Including yourself. All right? And one of the last questions they ask on this quiz is about weave lanes. Weave lanes are interchanges on the highway that allow for access on and access off the highway at the same place. So it's weaving. Your cars are weaving in and out. That same lane is used for entering the highway as exiting the highway. And there's going to be a video today about weave lanes and things like that. So just kind of bear with me on that one. And there'll be a worksheet to go with it. Guys, have a lovely day. It's been good talking to you. If you have any questions, feel free to email me anytime. And good luck.